Let's get to it.
So yesterday I got laid off, and I took a day to process it. So I think now I'm like ready to talk about it. In the moment that it happened, I felt like I regressed into my inner child. Like I felt my inner child come out. My whole life I was just used to like dealing with financial issues, growing up, not having money, not growing up with money at all, and just like always being stressed about finances. And this was like the first time in my life where I like didn't have to think twice about like getting things if I wanted something. Now it's like I'm reverted back to that inner child where it's like I'm in survival mode and I'm like, oh my god, like I have to hustle, I have to penny pinch, I have to make sure that I am super strict with myself. So the first thing that I did when I shut my laptop after I found out I was laid off was like just look at my husband and cry and say I'm so sorry, because I felt so guilty, like now he has to carry this burden. I literally would dread opening my laptop every day. And coincidentally, right before I got into the meeting where I lost my job, I was so anxious because I was working on stuff for work and it just nothing was working. And my husband saw how stressed and anxious I was. And he just came over and he was like, let me pray for you. And then we prayed and then I went to the call and I got laid off. And it almost felt like God was saying, I release you, like this is not for you. And really do feel like this needed to happen. It almost feels like this like divine intervention where God is telling me like this is not your purpose. Go find your purpose. Go fulfill your dreams. So I'm gonna be creating a lot more content now that I have more time. Obviously I'm gonna still be like applying for work. And I was like rushed with feelings of embarrassment, like oh my gosh, like I'm unemployed, I don't have a job, this is so embarrassing, even though it was like out of my control. It wasn't a performance-based thing or anything, and like I obviously wasn't the only one. Like a bunch of people at my job were affected, and obviously this is like a normal thing that a lot of people have experienced, but I don't know, you don't think it'll happen to you until it does, and then when it does you're like, what do I do? Like my world is like kind of upside down.
Welcome back, you guys. You tuned in to Tiffany Rose, where the truth don't get sugar-coated. Welcome back, my truth tribe. Today we talking about folks getting laid off as usual, and the economy is doing bad right now. People just trying to keep their head up and trying to be the light in the darkness. And you got this. You can keep going. But we go get into these videos. Let's go.
Always felt like I've had potential to do something else, but I've never really had the energy because I had a full-time job, and I never had the energy to like devote 100% to like creating content or pivoting into interior design or fashion, which are the things I actually care about and that I love and that I would love to do for a living. But I never gave myself that opportunity because I was so comfortable, and there's nothing I like more than just control over my circumstances, because as a child I didn't feel like I ever had control, especially in the financial sense.
Same.
This was like the first time I did, and I just did not want to let that go. Another thing that I was worried about is I am moving to New York City in a month, and we were looking for an apartment. We haven't found an apartment yet, so obviously the budget is changed completely, but I was still looking for an apartment way below our means because I'm just like, I'm not gonna spend thousands and thousands of dollars. And then everybody was trying to convince me like, no, you can afford it, just get something better, just get something better. And it started to go to my head a little bit. Like I was like, yeah, I can afford it, like let me just live it up. Like I never buy any luxury stuff, we don't buy fancy cars, nothing, let's just get a great apartment. And then like I feel like this humbled me, or it brought me back to earth, and brought me back to my roots of like, no, I don't want to spend a ton of money when I don't need to. And yes, I do want to steward my money well. Like I don't want to be impulsive with my money. And yeah, so now I don't really even have a choice. Like I'm gonna have to just find a cheap apartment. Glad that I didn't sign a lease to a really expensive apartment that I wasn't gonna be able to afford. Everything happens for a reason. I'm trusting God this season. Like I'm just releasing all control and just hoping and praying for the best. I'm definitely gonna hustle. I'm gonna give it my all. I know this wasn't where I was meant to be, and I don't think I would have left unless I was literally thrown out. So all that to say, what's meant to be is meant to be.
If you're a recent college graduate, you're first generation, and you live in Los Angeles and you're currently applying to jobs, please be my friend or consider joining me as I apply to jobs in LA. I graduated 2 months ago, and sometimes I feel really stressed out and really sad, angry, and just embarrassed that I haven't found like a full-time role yet. And I know people are like, oh, it's just been 2 months, like it just, but especially being someone who came from who graduated from a college where everyone was like super high achieving, everyone somehow graduated with full-time role positions. It definitely feels like a little like stressful for me. And also, as someone who is first gen, sometimes I feel really stressed out that I don't have a job yet, especially because I want to be able to support my family or help them in any way possible. So if you're on the same boat and you live in Los Angeles and you just want to hold each other like accountable, we can meet up at coffee shops, help each other out, have a little community where we can just like rant, apply to jobs together. I would love that. And literally, like, just hit me up if you see this video, comment if you're in the LA area. I would love to have a community of other students who feel the same way, or like, you know, just give each other hope, because it is a stressful situation. So if anyone wants to join, let me know. Yeah.
If you have multiple college degrees and you're applying, and no one will hire you, and you get to an interview and no one will hire you, you're not crazy. It's because of your college degrees. You don't have to believe me. You can test this. Go to your resume, backspace until your college degree is no longer on there, take it off your LinkedIn, remove your graduation year, and apply again, and tell me if you don't see a difference. You're not crazy. They are in fact not hiring you because you have a college degree. And not to say I told you so, but I did. Literally 3 years ago, last year, I said, college graduates, they're going to go around you. The businesses, the companies,
Wow.
They're going to go around you because your degrees are not just worthless. They're actively, negatively impacting you. All they do is make you believe. They create the expectation that you will make more than you actually will with no real skills, because college doesn't teach you real skills, and there's no set criteria of skills that employers know that you are going to get if you come with a college degree. There's just not. You have a college degree from some minor state university, you have a college degree from a community college, you have a college degree from Harvard.
You know what's scary, guys? It's not just being laid off or losing the job. It's about the silence that follows, the endless scrolling through applications, sending out resumes. I was just looking up over here on this computer, and it was telling me about a Kroger laid off a bunch of people. Sending out resumes, hearing nothing back. You start asking yourself, am I invisible? Does the world even notice I'm fighting to survive? This is what so many people are right now. Good, hard-working men and women laid off overnight. Staring at bills stacking up, wondering how they supposed to feed the family. And when the system seems broken, and let's be real, it feels like jobs out here that don't even pay enough to live. You get them everything, and in return, you treat it like you disposable on the cut list. But here's the truth. They don't want you to see. This isn't just about finding a job. It's about hoping a system that's built to wear you down. And that's why I'm speaking on it, because you're not crazy for feeling like the walls are closing in on you sometime. You ain't alone for being angry and scared and exhausted. Layoffs might take your paycheck, but don't let them take your fight. Because if you stop fighting, they win. And I refuse to let this happen to you. We grind harder while everybody else settles.
And I know that that's not true. Like, there's so many things like beyond working, and you can still like do your hobbies even if you're unemployed. But I just feel like I almost like can't enjoy my life until I get a job. Like, I have to get a job in order to enjoy life. And I don't know if I'm the only one who feels like that.
This is just my 2 cents based on some videos that I've seen on the internet so far. If y'all are under the impression that there are multiple jobs in the tech space right now, and it's so easy to get a 9-to-5, and everyone's making $300K in the tech space right out of college, that is wrong. Don't fall under these spells. Like, yeah, there are jobs, but the tech market is severely suffering. I know that there's like misinformation all over the web, but the Bay Area has been reporting on the news over and over again that if you are straight out of college with a CS degree, you are not going to get a job. And I'm not here to be a downer. I just want to make sure that y'all are aware that the tech hub isn't hiring. So if you get a job, I'm so happy, so happy. Please help other people as best as you can. But if you're leak coding and you can't get a job, it's not you, bestie.
It is really hard to find a job in Australia in 2025, and I cannot stress it enough. If you have no experience in anything, nothing to show on your CV, it's going to take you months to find a job. There are a lot of workshops in Australia that people go to try and find a job, but realistically, you need to have something to show on your CV. There's no point going to a workshop, but then you have nothing to show to any employer. Do you know what I mean? Like, you need to do things before you come to Australia now in 2025, because it's too hard to start from scratch here and there is too much competition. There is work in manual jobs because that's usually what Australians don't want to do, meaning there's a skill shortage, meaning there's jobs there. So if you're able to get some experience back home, even if it's a couple of nights a week, in anything, waitressing, dish pit.
Guys, that concludes this video. If you're new to the channel, make sure you join the Truth Tribe and subscribe. We talk about the economy, things going down, shedding light. We see through it while the lies cloud the rest of the world. So join the Truth Tribe if you are into having your eyes open. Let me know down in the comments what you think about this. People out here looking for jobs, struggling and barely getting by, trying to keep their head up when they're on a job search that feels like it's invisible to a lot of people. And I'm Tiffany Rose. I'm out.